standing, if your hamstrings are feeling a little tight, there's one section where I'm kind of going to be holding onto the floor like this and doing something, not this, but something with my leg. If you've got any blocks at home and you want to lean on a block, if the floor's too far away, you might like to put one at the top of your mat. If you haven't got a block and you can't reach the floor, again, doesn't matter. You could just lean onto a windowsill or a chair or something like that. Okay, I just don't want you to be struggling and not have anything to hold on to. That's all I'll say. It's only for the very beginning section, and then we come down to the ground. Okay. Right, cue everyone running off to get chairs and props and things. Right, okay, when you are ready to join me, team, let's get started. We're coming to the top of our mats, so feet hip distance apart, knees nice and soft. Let's get ourselves in the zone, okay? Take a big breath in, reach the arms all the way up, feel that full body stretch, and then exhale as you bring the arms down. And again, so we inhale, breathe in as you bring the arms all the way up. Take a big stretch up and out of the hips. Breathe out through the mouth as you bring the arms down. Let's do this twice more. Take a moment to ground down into the feet, to activate through the tummy, to make some space through the spine, and to work with the breath. Okay, so a big lift, a big lengthen, and then bringing those arms down. Let's bring the arms all the way up. This time, hold the arms up there. Pilates, roll down. Lead with the arms, chin comes to the chest. Curve the back. We're going to roll ourselves down to a point that you feel comfortable to dangle. So bend those knees, let the arms fall, lift the tailbone high. Take a big breath. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. Just every time you breathe out here, opening up through the backs of the legs. Giving those hamstrings time to unravel, time to make space. One last breath here. See if you can get the rib cage a little closer towards the thighs. Now think of the posture as you roll up. Keep the chin on the chest, ground down through the feet, slowly rolling yourself up to standing. Head comes up last. Take that big breath in again. Reach the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Hold your hands together and pull those hands down towards the chest. So I'm holding my hands together and they're in front of the chest, okay? From here, shift your weight onto your left leg and lift the right knee up to hip height. So a little balance to start with, okay? Right knee is in line with right hip. Ground down through that left leg. If you're on carpet, it's harder. You can use that as an excuse. I'll let you off. We are going to do a little tilt. So I'm going to keep the right knee bent. I'm going to tilt the body forwards as I take the right foot up towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to tilt my body back through as I bring the right knee in line with the hip. I'm going to do this 3 more times. So taking the right foot back, keeping the knee bent, bringing the body forwards, switch on through the tummy. Now press away from that left foot as you bring the right knee back through to center. We've got 2 more. So you're trying to find your balance on the left leg, trying to keep the spine long the whole time, the right knee staying bent. And hopefully we're feeling that through the left leg, okay, the supporting leg. 1 more time. Don't worry if you wobble. We all wobble. It's absolutely fine. Just slow it down. Go at your own pace. Now, when that right knee comes through, we're going to slowly step the right foot behind the left. Step the right foot behind the left. Reach those hands up towards the ceiling. So both feet are flat on the floor. The right foot is tucked behind the left. And now reach the arms over to the left as well. So you're reaching the arms over to the left and you're pushing your right hip to the side as you open through the chest. And you should feel a big stretch down the right-hand side of the body. Take a beautiful breath here, in through the nose, breathe into that rib cage, breathe out through the mouth. Realign the feet to parallel, release the arms, look up to the ceiling, let's roll down. So we lead with the arms, chin to the chest, roll yourself down, bend those knees, let the arms fall heavy, lift the tailbone high. Pause here, shifting the weight into the toes, remember, opening up through the backs of the legs, and then ground down through those feet. Gorgeous posture as we roll up. You're restacking the spine slowly, slowly. Shoulders, then the head. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Big lift. Find that space, hold the hands together and pull the hands down towards the chest, ready for the other side. So shifting the weight onto the right leg, the left knee comes up to hip height. Find your balance first. Good. Now we're going to tilt forwards. Bring the body forwards as the left heel goes up towards the ceiling. And then slowly bring the left knee back through as we lift the chest up. Okay, so grounded down through the right leg. Go in again. Draw the belly in. The left foot's coming back, tilting the body forwards. And then we bring the chest up as the left knee comes back through. Slow and controlled. Really important to work on our balance. I like to throw something in for balance in every class, as balance is so important to work on. It's the first thing to go. So just taking your time. Don't worry if you wobble, because we're just working on building up the strength in that supporting leg. So you could tap down and then join back in again whenever you can. This is the last one. We then step that left foot behind the right, flat on the floor. Reach the arms up, really lengthen the spine as you squeeze the bum, press the hips forwards. Take the arms over to the right now, team. So reach over to the right. You're now stretching through the left-hand side of the body. So ground down through the feet, big breath here. And then realign the feet to parallel, release the hands, look up towards the ceiling, and let's roll down. Lead with the arms, chin to the chest. Take a big sigh as you roll yourself down. Let everything just fall heavy towards the ground. Now we're down here. You could either leave the hands on the floor if you can comfortably reach, or you've got a block in front of you, or like I mentioned, you could lean on a chair or on a windowsill, okay? So I'm going to now shift my weight back onto the left leg. So I'm standing on the left leg, taking the right leg lifted and behind me. It doesn't have to be really high. The right leg is lengthening behind you. You're going to bend both knees as the right knee touches the left calf. And then I straighten both legs as I take the right leg away. Again, so bend both knees, right knee taps left calf. And then I straighten both legs as I push the right leg to the wall behind me. Good. Let's do this 3 more times. Right knee to left calf. Straighten both legs, lengthen the right leg away. And again, keep it going. So drawing the belly in, activating the tummy. We're getting a gorgeous stretch through the hamstring, but we're also working on those hips, those legs at the same time. And we're still testing that balance. Yeah, we're still working on our single side. This time, straighten both legs, pause there. Now pulse the right leg up and up. Tiny little kicks here. Keep both legs straight, right leg's pulsing up, down, doesn't touch the floor for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step that right foot in, feet are hip distance apart, and just take a little fidget, let the body dangle out here. So maybe you release the hands, try and take a breath, get the ribs closer to the thighs, just make sure your weight is evenly transferred again. Shake out the head, the shoulders. Now we're going to shift our weight onto our right leg. So I'm taking the left leg behind me now. When you're ready, we lift that left leg up. Find your balance on this right side. Bend both knees. Left knee taps right calf. And then I straighten the legs. Both legs extending away. Good. Bend both knees. Left knee taps right calf. Extend that left leg. Try and reach towards that wall away from you. And again, bringing it in. You might find on this side, the left leg goes a little bit higher up. That might be where your right hamstring is a little bit more flexible and doesn't mind this angle. Or you might be thinking, Jade, I don't feel very flexible on either side right now. And that's okay. That's what we're here for, to work on our strength and our flexibility. I promise I'm counting. Don't know what to, but I am counting. Last one here, last one. Extend that left leg, take a little pulse. Here we go, up and up. So tiny little pulses with the left leg. Keep the right leg as straight as you can. I'm getting hip cramp. How about you? Take a breath. Here we go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that left foot down. Ooh, have a little bend, a little fidget. Shake out the head, the shoulders, the hands. And then slowly, when you're ready, hands are coming down onto the ground. We're going to step our feet back to find a high plank. So feet go all the way back, lengthen out the spine, draw that belly button in. Take a moment, a big breath here, soften the shoulders, press those heels away. And then we'll slowly come down onto our forearms for a forearm plank. Elbows underneath shoulders. Lengthen that spine, draw the belly button in. No creases in the back of the neck, pressing those heels away from you. One more little bit before we take a child's pose. You're going to lift your right arm and turn onto the outside edge of both feet. Find a side plank here. So my left forearm's down, right arm's reaching up. Keep those hips lifted if you can. Now bring the right forearm back down. Come back onto a forearm plank. Lengthen out the spine. Press those heels away from you. Now lift the left arm up. Pivot onto the outside of both feet. You're in a side plank. Try and lift those hips higher. And then slowly bring that left forearm down, coming back onto your forearm plank. Come down onto both knees, uncurl both toes, up onto those hands, and find your way into a child's pose. Beautiful, good job. So a lovely little warm-up section there to kind of ground us down, to bring us into this practice today. So have a breath in child's pose. Let the forehead come down towards the ground. Creep those fingertips forwards. Maybe even take the knees a little bit wider. You might want to have a little fidget into the hips, into the upper body. It's entirely up to you. When you feel comfortable to join me, we're going to come back up onto our forearms, but you're going to be in your box. So your knees are underneath your hips, okay? So you're on your forearms, but the knees are underneath the hips. Right, this is a little bit of brain work, and let's see if your brains are switched on this morning. It's a little spinal flow, we call this, a good way to kind of take a cat and cow, but develop it. So here in the forearms, you're going to do your cat pose that we've done before. So round the back, chin to the chest. Then stay in that curve as you lift the elbows and straighten the arms. The hands will be further forwards than your shoulders, yeah? Then from here, you're going to shift your weight forwards as you look forwards as well. Find your cow pose where you look forwards and lift the tailbone. And then you bend your elbows, come straight back down onto the forearms. Let's go again. Take your cat pose. So curve the spine, chin to the chest, round the back. Pause there. Then lift the elbows, straighten the arms. You're still in that curve. Then you shift your weight forwards as you look forwards and stick your bottom up, arching through the back. And then you bring the forearms back down onto the floor. So I keep going, but I make it a bit more fluid. So I round the back, lift the elbows, arch as I come forwards, and then the forearms go down. So you might want to take this more of a flow, or you might want to do what we were doing, just doing one section at a time. It is just a way to curve the back, to get some movement through the spine. So we're just changing our cat and cow that we've done before. If you feel you would be more comfortable taking a traditional cat and cow, you know that is absolutely fine. We're going to do it one more time. And this is just a lovely way to mobilize through the back and get some movement through the spine. Okay, when you're ready, coming onto your forearms, we're going to meet there. I want you to think about engaging the tummy now, because we've just been working on curving and rounding. Now I want you to switch the tummy on. Tuck your toes under, a little sequence. Lift both elbows at the same time as you straighten your arms. Come back down at the same time on both elbows, and then lift both knees. I go again. So the knees are down. We straighten the arms up, bend the elbows down, lift the knees up, place the knees down. Keep going. So elbows go up, elbows go down, knees come up, and knees go down. Now keep going. I want you to think about lifting both elbows at the same time. and placing both elbows down at the same time as well. Keep trying to think about squeezing the elbows in towards each other. It's going to make you work the backs of the arms, so the triceps. When you lift those knees off the floor, try not to lift them too high. The closer you stay towards the ground, the more you're going to feel it in the thighs and in the lower tummy. So a little tricep and then a little ab activation there as we find that hover. Let's do this twice more. Keep thinking about squeezing those elbows in towards each other. Yeah, the more you're pulling them in, the more you're going to feel the backs of the arms engaging. On your next hover, you're going to stay there. So we're going to lift those knees off the floor, elbows are down. Now we're going to straighten the legs, take the bottom up to the ceiling, bend the knees, come back into your hover. Don't touch the floor. Here we go. Straighten the legs, push the hips up. And then I bend the knees. Don't let the knees touch the floor. Good. Keep going. So now the forearms are staying down on the ground, starting to feel a little heat through the shoulders. When you lift the hips, think about pressing the heels heavy to the ground. It's a lovely way to stretch out the backs of the legs too. Take a breath out as you lift. And inhale as you hover the knees down. They don't touch. We've got two more. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. How are those shoulders feeling? One more time. Exhale up. And inhale as you come down. Good. Pop the knees down. Uncurl the toes. You're going to come and sit onto your heels now. So lift your chest completely up. You're sitting on your heels. You need to turn so you're facing the long side of your mat. Okay, so I'm on my knees, hands on the thighs. Let's take a little mobility, a cat and cow. So round the back, chin to the chest. Press the chest through as you take your eye line up. So a traditional cat and cow that we've done many a times before, just taking this opportunity to move through the spine again, hopefully feeling a lot more in tune with your body. One more time. Lovely way to stretch out to get some gorgeous movement. Now meet in center as we inhale, reach the arms all the way up. How are the arms feeling? Are they okay? I'm going to mirror you. Bring your right hand down towards the ground. We take a side bend first. Just pause here. So the right hand is grounded. Press the chest through. Now you're going to bring this left hand, waving at you, this left hand down to the ground. Take a twist. Open back up into that side stretch. Okay, I'm going to go again. So the left hand's coming down. Really try and pull yourself around. Twist through the body. And then as that left arm comes up, press the chest through. We do this twice more. So we're stretching out through the back. And then we're opening up, working on our posture, stretching through the side body. One more time. We're getting those obliques warmed up as well. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring that left hand down to the ground, find that twist. But now when you lift the right arm up, I'm going to lift the bottom and take the right leg up too. So then I bend, find that little side twist we were doing. Right arm, right leg and bum opens up. You got it? So everything's twisting, bringing the bum towards the heels. And then you unravel, press the chest through, extend that leg. So everything's closing off, stretching, twisting, and then lifting up, press the hips through, extend that leg. Good, twice more. Rounding off, twisting, pressing through, opening the chest, big lifts. One more time, rounding off, twisting, and then up into that half side plank. Good. Pop that left foot on the floor. And then you're going to straighten the right leg as you come down onto your sides, all the way down. So you should be on your right arm, left hand's on the floor in front of you. Glue your feet together. We're going to lift both legs up and lower both legs down. Nice. Here we go. So both feet are glued together. Knees are facing forwards. You're staying on top of that right hip. Now I want you to think about really lengthening your body, creeping that right hand as far toward towards that wall as you can. And as you're lifting the legs, they're going as far in the other direction as possible. Okay, the left hand is on the ground to give you a little bit of support here today, but we're not pressing into that left hand. So it wouldn't really matter if the left hand was there or not, right? Pulling up through those thighs, drawing the belly in. Good work. Let's lift and hold in that side lying series. Lift and hold. We scissor one leg forwards and then switch. Other leg comes through. So one leg back, one leg forwards. Now, really important that we're keeping those legs as straight as possible. So pull up through those thighs, especially the underneath leg. It always wants to bend as it goes back. Try and keep the underneath leg as straight as possible. Try not to wobble around with the hips everywhere. Keep the hips lovely and stable, and use that breath as you switch and slowly switch. So keep control. Try not to go too fast here. Gently does it. Lengthen those legs. We've got 2. And then we've got 1. Bring the feet together. Bend the knees. Bring them in towards your left arm. And then slowly use that left hand to push yourself up. We're coming onto that kneeling pose, ready to go on the other side. Yeah, we're there. When you're ready to join me, take our cat and cow. So we start to curve the spine, rounding the back. You might find you want to hang out more in the cat pose. That's okay. Whatever feels right for you. We're just all meeting back together, getting some mobility through the back. Okay, when you're ready, finding that neutral spine, reaching those arms up. Now the left hand is going to come down. Find that side bend on this side. Yeah, so we're opening up through the right side body now. Now your right hand comes down towards the ground. Find that twist. And then the right arm opens back up into that side bend. Yeah, right hand's coming down. Draw the belly and you're wringing out the waist here on this twist. And then opening that right arm up, feeling that stretch. Good. One more time here. So we're twisting the body, wringing out through the waist, and then opening back up. So you know what's coming this time. We're going to find that twist. Then not only are we lifting the right arm, we lift the right leg as well. Good, nice. And then everything comes down as the bottom comes towards the heels. And then we reach and open. So a lovely little twist, a bit of a back stretch, and then that powerful press as we open up through the chest and through the hips. We're working on shoulder strength, on hip mobility, and on even our wrist and our core, all of those little areas. We're firing up. We've got 2 more. Try and hit each pose. Even that twist. Enjoy that lovely mobilization. And then pause in that half side plank. The right leg comes down. We straighten the left leg and find our way onto our sides, coming all the way down onto your side so that your head is on your left arm and the right hand is in front of you. When you're ready, both legs lift up and both legs come down. So both legs are lifting, pull up through those thighs and then lower. So you're squeezing the bottom, working through the waist, the obliques, pulling the shoulders away from the ears and working into that side balance. So we're not rolling back onto the bottom, remember. We're trying to make that space. We're reaching from one wall all the way to the other. And we're not using that front hand too much. We're active through the tummy. Yeah? Now we're going to lift and hold. We're going to find that scissor. So one leg forwards, one leg back, and then we switch sides. So one leg forwards, one leg back, lengthening, trying not to bend that underneath leg. Try and keep both legs lifted off the ground evenly here and working into the waist and the hips. So scissoring through center, scissoring. We've got 2 more for 2. And then for 1, bring the feet back together. Pop the feet down onto the ground and bend those knees in towards the right arm. Great job. From here, we're going to come up straight onto our backs, okay? So when you're ready, have a little fidget and bring yourself onto your back. So take a little fidget, get yourself comfortable. Whenever you're there, you're going to ground down through both feet. So both feet are flat on the floor, knees are parallel. We're going to take our hands and interlace them together and cup them behind the head. You know we're coming into some abs now, right? So once you feel ready, team, done really good so far. We're going to do a basic crunch just to get our brains in gear for the abdominal section. So exhale as you lift and inhale as you lower. So a basic crunch, we've been here before. Let's make sure we set up properly. All 10 toes are on the floor. Don't roll the feet. Make sure the knees and the hips stay in line. Elbows are wide and there's a little gap between the chin and the chest. You breathe out as you come up. That's going to help you scoop and hollow the belly. Okay. Now we're going to keep this basic crunch going. You're going to lift your left leg into tabletop and just leave it there. So I'm keeping my left leg in tabletop, the knee is over the hip, and I'm doing these basic crunches. Yeah, we're all good here. We're happy. We're starting to switch on the lower abdominals now. Now you're going to come into that ab hold and stay up there. So lift the head and shoulders. Now take your right hand and place it on the inside of your left thigh, the inside of your left thigh. Now I don't want your hand to just be there. I want you to push slightly. So I'm always slightly pushing my left knee out to the side. It's not moving. I'm not changing the alignment. There's just some pressure there between my hand and my knee. Left hand stays behind the head, and you should feel as you push on that knee, the tummy switches on even more. Okay. Now lift your right leg into tabletop. The right leg is going to extend and bend. That's the only thing moving. The right leg straightens to hover, comes back into tabletop. We got it? The right leg is straightening, lengthening away, and then coming back in. But I'm keeping my right hand on the inside of my left leg, and I'm always pushing, so much so that I can feel my arm engaging as well, and the inner thigh. Drawing the belly button down towards the floor and using the left hand to support the back of the head, right? Now the right leg is going to stay straight. It comes up and then it goes all the way back down. So the right leg is still the only thing moving, but now the right leg is straight. If that's too much, you could bend the right knee. And if it's getting too much of the head and shoulders, know that you could put your head down if you need to. Always lots of options here, right? There's only one more little sequence on this side. The right leg's going to come up to the ceiling, and now it goes out to the side, big circle back round, and then up. So my right leg's now doing a big circle, but we're still pressing on the inside of the left leg. We're keeping the head and shoulders lifted, and we're smiling. We're smiling. Two more. Big circle. Keep active through the tummy. One more time. Big push on that right hand. Slowly pop your right foot onto the ground. Bring the right hand behind your head. Left foot onto the ground. And then pop your head down onto the floor. Nice, good. Reach those arms away from you. Just have a little stretch through the top half of the body. Maybe have a little wriggle out through the hands, a little side bend. And then when you're good to go, hands behind the head. Let's do the other side. Basic crunch. Here we go. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So we're exhaling into our basic crunch. Inhaling as we lower. And I don't know about you, but my abs are feeling it already here. So I'm going to use the out breath a little bit more. And inhaling as you come down, yeah? Keep the ab crunch going. Right leg comes into tabletop now and it stays there. So tabletop, the right knee is over the right hip. And we're doing that basic crunch, keeping those elbows wide. You know what's coming. Lift and hold. Left hand on the inside of the right leg. Remember, you've got to press slightly to really engage the tummy. Left leg comes up to tabletop. Here we go. Left leg straightens and comes back into tabletop. Left leg straightens, back into tabletop. Remember, if this is getting too much, you could put your head and shoulders on the floor like so and do a basic extension with the left leg. If you're feeling it in your back, my advice would also be to put the right foot on the floor. So this is an option you could be doing right now. I don't want you to be put off by all of the fancy stuff I do. Remember, if you ever go back and visit one of the pre-recorded beginners sections, I always say to you, you don't have to do all these fluffy stuff in the live classes. You could just pull it back to basic whenever you need to. Now keep that left leg straight. So the straight leg comes up and then lowers back down to the ground. So the left leg is doing a straight leg extension now. We're pressing on the inside of the right knee and we're keeping the head and shoulders lifted, supporting it with the right hand. Tummy is fiery. Yes, let's do that circle. Left leg comes up to the ceiling. Left leg's going to go out to the side. I'm going to kick the candle. I'm going to go on the wonk quickly. See, home workouts, you have to modify where you're going, right? So the left leg is staying straight. I'm doing a big circle, taking it out, down to the bottom, up through center. Still pressing on that right knee, team. Still lifting those head and shoulders up. One more time, one more big circle. Yes, good. Pop the left knee down, pop the right knee down, head onto the floor and breathe. Good job. Okay, from here, bring your hands down by your sides. Let's do a few bridge rolls. Okay, let's stretch out the tummy. So take a breath out, press your back into the floor, lift your hips, come up into a yummy bridge roll. So press your hands, your shoulders, your feet into the ground, and then roll down slowly. Massage out the spine, realign the back, gently bring the bottom onto the ground. Again, yeah, so breathing out, lifting the hips, pressing down through those feet. Take this opportunity to kind of recheck in with yourself, slowly rolling down, realigning. We're going to do that one more time at your pace, okay, your rhythm, your speed, peeling our way up. Hands, shoulders, feet are on the ground, and then we slowly roll our way back down. When you get to the bottom, hugging the right knee in towards your chest, hug that right knee in. So we're going to now do a little figure 4 section. Okay, so just going to hug that right knee in first. Think about pressing your shoulder blades, your back into the ground. Notice how that feels, because where we did a lot of the standing section and then the hovering bits, your hip flexors got quite short in that section. So this figure 4 section is to work your bum and your tummy, but it's also going to stretch out your hips as well. So let's take the right foot, pop it on top of the left thigh, and then use your right hand to just press that right knee away from you. Notice how that feels around the groin. Yeah, it might feel a little tight in the groin and the hip there. So take a bit of a breath as you press that right knee away from you. Okay, now you're going to leave the leg there, bring the hands down by your sides where they were a moment ago, palms of the hands on the floor. So we're going to leave the legs in this little figure 4. So there should be like a triangle in between your thighs. Yeah, we come back to that bridge. So press your back into the floor, lift your hips up. And as you push your hips up, try and push that right knee further away. You should feel more of a stretch through the right groin. And then slowly come back down onto the ground. Let's do that again. So you breathe out as you lift the bottom, press through the left foot, open that right hip up, and then slowly make your way back down to the floor. On this next one, can you come up and hold? So you come into that figure 4 bridge and you stay there. Now the right leg reaches up to the ceiling as I breathe out, goes back to the figure 4 as you breathe in. Stay up there, go again. Right leg reaches up as you breathe out. Inhale as you take that figure 4, keep the hips up. One more time, breathe out, reach that right leg up. Pop the right foot onto the left thigh, figure 4. Roll down slowly so your bottom is on the ground. You're still in figure 4. Hands come behind the head now. Interlace those hands behind the head. Press your elbows into the ground. One bridge. So I lift the hips up, put the hips back down onto the floor. One basic crunch. That's your sequence. One bridge, lift those hips up. One basic crunch when the hips are down. And the whole time you're in that figure 4 team. So you're grounding down through the left foot, but you're opening that right knee out to the side. We'll do this one more time. Last one here. Big bridge, ground down through the left. And then a basic crunch once the bottom's on the floor. Now, keep going with the basic crunch. As you crunch, lift the left foot up. And then as you put your head down, the left foot comes down. Are we there? So as we crunch, the left leg lifts. Good, nice. And then as we go down with the head, the left foot goes down. Everyone's brains are like, wowza, back with the bang, Jade. Hopefully you're still with me, team. I know it gets a bit confusing. You're doing really good. You could make up your own version. I don't mind, I promise. Okay, let's come into that basic crunch with the left leg lifted and hold. Abs stay up here. We stay in this ab hold. Keep the right foot as it is. I straighten the left leg and then bend the left leg back in. I straighten the left leg, bend the left leg back in. 2 more. Extend the left leg, bring it back in. 1 more time, extend the left leg, bring it in. You've got 1 little bit left, 1 little bit left. Straighten that left leg and hold. Now 3 times, you're going to straighten the right leg as well. Bring the right leg back to figure 4. Again, right leg straightens to meet the left. Back to figure 4. 1 more, right leg straightens, meets the left. Back to figure 4, pull the left knee in, pop your head down onto the ground and use your hands now to pull that left leg in towards you. So you're hugging the left leg in, the right knee is pressing away in that figure 4 shape. Think about head on the floor, squeeze your shoulder blades down to the ground and hopefully feeling a little bit of a stretch through the bum and the back. Now, you know, don't get too excited, but we need to do that whole section on the other side. Otherwise, you're going to be lopsided, and that is not good. So pop those feet down, unravel, take a little bit of a window wiper, just rock your knees side to side, get some movement through that lower back, okay? Get ready. This is the last little section. Coming back to center, hug your left knee in towards your chest, press your shoulder blades, your back into the floor. Remember, do as much as you can. If it gets too much and you say, oh, I'm just going to hang out for the stretches, I don't mind. I promise, okay? Do what you want to do. Let's pop that left foot on top of the right thigh. Use your left hand to press that left knee away from you. So our first figure 4 on the other side. How does your left groin feel? My hip flexor feels a little bit nasty today. How about yours? Do you need to send a bit more breath into that area? Maybe push a little bit further away. Once you feel happy, you might want to stay there longer. We bring the arms down by the sides. We're in figure 4 now on the other side. Basic bridge. You're going to lift your hips up, press into the right foot as you find that figure 4 bridge, and then come back down onto the ground. Remember, shoulders and hands stay down. Breathe out, lift the hips, press into that right foot, press that left knee away, and then slowly come down. Even I've lost lefts and rights now. Up you come, pressing through the right foot, opening the chest, slowly coming back down. Now, this is the bridge we're going to stay in. So lift those hips. Join me here. Left leg straightens up to the ceiling as you breathe out. Inhale, pop it back onto the figure 4. Again, left leg goes up, breathing out. Inhale, place the left foot onto the thigh. One more time. Left leg goes all the way up. And then bend the knee into the figure four. Slowly roll yourself back down onto the ground. Hands come behind the head now. Our sequence, one bridge in figure four. As the hips come down, one basic crunch. Again, so we do one bridge, lift the hips up, and then we do one basic crunch as the hips are down. Let's do this one more time. Last time, bridge, hips down, basic crunch. Now continue the basic crunch, lift the legs at the same time. So as I lift the head and shoulders, I bring the right knee in towards me, but the left leg is being pushed out to the side. Yeah, so we're working on opening up through the groin, through the hips still, even though we're switching on our tummies. So last little abdominal section now. We are so close to the end, okay? Here we go. Let's lift and hold, lift and hold. Right leg straightens. Bring the right knee back into the chest. And again, right leg straightens. Keep in the ab hold. Bring the right knee back into the chest. One more time. Right leg straightens. Bring it back in. You remember the finale? We straighten the right leg. Hold. Left leg goes to meet. Left leg back to figure four. Left leg goes to meet the right leg. Left leg comes back to figure four. One more time. Left leg goes to meet. Back to figure four. Bend your right knee. Pop your head down on the ground and take hold of the right leg with your hands. Pull those legs in towards you. Squeeze your shoulder blades, your back into the ground and press that left knee away. Beautiful work. Take a big breath. In through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. And then slowly just unravel the legs, hug both knees in towards the chest. So pull the knees in, press your back into the ground, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then unravel to a full body stretch. Reach both arms, both legs away. Have a little fidget, maybe circle the ankles, take a little side bend, whatever works for you here. You can either roll yourself up to seated or use your hands to bring yourself up. Doesn't matter. Either way, we'll all meet in our hamstring stretch, our forward fold. Take a big out breath through the mouth. Keep those legs as straight as you can. If you need to bend them slightly, that's okay. Try and bend the elbows, soften the shoulders, let the head fall heavy here. Really opening up through the backs of the legs now. Slow down the breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. You did so, so well. Let's carefully peel our chest up, bend the knees as you do so, finding a cross-legged position if that's okay for you. Press those knees down towards the ground. Take a couple of big shoulder rolls. Just make sure that we've not got any tension through the upper body here and we're keeping that length through the spine. Let the shoulders fall heavy, let the arms relax here. Last little bit, a little neck roll, ear to the shoulder. Roll the chin heavy across the chest. Pause as the other ear comes to the other side. Using that exhale as the head falls heavy through the middle. And then enjoy that stretch in between the shoulder and the neck on each side here. This is us just grabbing an opportunity to realign, to reset before we step off of the mat. Let's bring the head over heart, lengthen the spine. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up and exhale through the mouth as you bring the arms down. You did it. Well done, everybody.